Oh,
Oh wait, I can. There we go. The world doesn't need to know about Wingstop, uh, or whatever the next ad is going to be on my laptop.
it's a dark omen foretold by the evil magics of Twitch.
The sinister realities as they catch up with us about, I don't know, food. Anyway, welcome, folks, back to our playthrough of a bunch of Sega Saturn stuff. Hey,
You
that
got me
works.
thinking though. Before we start,
Hmm.
um, ho- who gets to decide when it's an omen and when it's a prophecy? Like prophecy has such a more heroic and important and like this is the truth that must be known kind of vibe to it. Omen is a truth too, but it just sounds like so much more sinister, even though it's like exactly the same thing. It's like it when you're working with magic, it's almost like it's intrinsically different instead of just like subjectively different.
I feel like this is the sort of thing that I should know. Maybe it depends on the predicted outcome. Could be Boomgardner, could be. Also sup, also hi. Um, I feel like this is the sort of thing I should arbitrarily know the distinction of, but it, I mean, a prophecy can be an omen. An omen has negative connotations, but I think it's just a portion of things to come. Prophecy is something that has specifically been decreed, but a prophecy can also be positive or negative. I think it's just the types of stories we intake. Prophecy tends to be tied to a hero, and omen tends to be tied to a downfall. But again, both words can be positive or negative. Hey, hey.
Yeah, but it's like I guess if you were to have some kind of RPG or tabletop campaign, and uh, I could imagine there being like a dark wizard class, and they know dark omen, and um the like white wizard class, they know light prophecy, and it's like what makes those two things intrinsically different if they're just both saying this is the thing that's going to happen in the future. Like it feels oddly subjective for what's normally a pretty rigid magical system, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. I'm trying to think of a counter offer off the cuff, but I got nothing. I guess either way, you're sitting better off than Gray prediction.
This is our estimated
Oh, hey,
stock
well.
portfolio over the next quarter.
Yes, stackomancy. Uh, hey Liam, hey Will. Going all right. We're just getting started here. Uh, let's see. Uh, let's see. Little quick warm up question for you, Gooms. While we're getting everything squared up, do you have a favorite do you have a favorite visual artist? Not necessarily artist overall, but in terms of someone who does specifically a type of visual art that you've really connected with. It can be someone you know by name, or it can be just a specific work that you look at and go, visually, the way this looks is really neat.
Boy, that's putting me on the spot a lot. I do like appreciate a lot of different artists and it. Um,
Oh no, no, it's okay. Liam has you covered. He's your favorite artist. I know it's kind of a big question, so it's fine if you just the first one that comes to mind of an artist you like is also okay.
Well, the first like painting that I would say that's my favorite painting is that one called The Fall of Icarus, where people are just going about their everyday lives and completely ignoring it. And then if you look at a tiny, tiny portion of the sea that's painted in this large, idyllic uh, oceanside town landscape, you can see two legs uh, popping out of the water. So like the entire then if you look around at the other characters, after you notice those two legs, then you'll notice that they're all like looking away from the legs and just not paying attention to them at all. So the whole
Oh,
thing is like a commentary on how um, like with the story of Icarus, he was trying to accomplish this great thing in flying up to the sun, and then falling down. That painting goes one step further and says like, yeah, you fall down, and then no one even cares that you flew up to begin with.
oh wow! I don't think I've ever actually seen that one. No, I dig that though. Uh,
Yeah.
let's see. For me, and again, I don't know that I would say that this is definitively my favorite artist, but an artist I think about a lot. In the I believe he did a lot of work in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. An Italian artist named I believe Walter Molino. Um, he did a lot of art for newspapers and magazines and such. Pop artist. Um, but his thing was that he did a lot of I don't know the right word for it, but very pulpy sort of work where uh, uh, he would do the cover illustration for a weekly newspaper, and it'd be this a lot of scenes of people or individuals and stuff, but often in very lurid detail. Not explicit, but often due to the contents of the types of pictures that he illustrated, sometimes very graphic, if not especially bloody. And he's one of the most striking artists I've ever seen because there is a lot of very intense energy um, uh, to a lot of his artwork. There's a very strong kinetic feel to it, very visceral. Like he would do these illustrations depicting. Um, Sometimes they'd just be normal people just next to one another, but he'd also do these illustrations of these calamities, like a car crash or a train jumping the tracks or something like that. And there's just this very intense energy to it of the detail of shrapnel flying and people jumping out of the way, and it's legitimately one of the most anxiety-inducing artists I've ever seen. But that's fascinating to me how much he really grabs your attention as a viewer, and completely disconnected from the work from the stories that he's illustrating. You have to wonder as to the exact scenario that has brought this about. Probably my favorite picture that he's done is of this. It's of this young mother clutching her son, and the two of them look terrified as two trains go screaming by on either side of them, and they're just huddled in this little channel between them. And uh, again, every time I see it, it just kind of catches me, uh, because you have to wonder how they got there, but it's also you can almost hear the sheer volume and commotion of this scene. Um,
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about, the disaster artists. Um,
I
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
I think so. Yeah.
I've seen some of his work, but yeah, that's fascinating, and I always appreciate like having um, you just making you're carving out your own niche in the world and making this own entire genre of artistry that people wouldn't have even considered as a thing that should be made before then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, Here's the artist painting I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Uh,
If anyone's curious in chat.
I think Edwina's quite curious. Uh, I should probably actually have this on screen if I'm going to look at it. I don't rightly know how to cue this up. Uh, nope, nope. Oh yeah, there we go. Yep.
Um, it's estimated to be from 1558, and uh, we actually don't have the original apparently. This is just a very good
Yep.
copy of it, created like 2 years later.
Now I'm trying to find Icarus on here. Uh, he like way far in the back somewhere?
N- Not really in the back.
I definitely see what you mean about the. Oh, yeah, up in the foreground
Yeah,
here. There he is. And
yeah.
I definitely see what you mean about everyone just kind of ignoring him. This guy's looking up here, his head's down. He's just trying very hard to mind his fish or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Uh, no, no, definitely quite striking.
Hmm.
But all right, but the reason I ask about and mention artists is because the subject of today's stream, Panzer
I,
Dragoon.
I, I did I did see the art, by the way. I didn't look at it too much, but I'll look at it more later. Anyway, continue.
No worries. The reason I ask about artists is the work of today's. Well, let me try that sentence again. The subject of today's stream is Panzer Dragoon, a work that was influenced by quite a lot of artists, but most directly that's of French fantasy artist Jean Giraud. Um, uh, Giraud worked, or better known as Mobius, really made a name for himself in the mid 70s with a lot of his fantasy artwork, particularly a series of silent comics or wordless comics called Arzak, which follows a silent uh, traveler who flies around on this pterosaur-like creature in these barren landscapes and goes on very small sort of adventures. Like you look at the actual content or you analyze the actual content of the stories themselves, and they're usually fairly vulgar or basic sort of things. But the idea more is that a lot of the specifics of what he's doing or the landscape that he's going through, which is never explained, but there are all these little details of the ruins and the skeletal remains of what he's flying over just lends itself to a lot of questions that inspired actually quite a lot of artists throughout from that era or who grew up with that. I believe Arzak is a very influential work for a lot of French fantasy, but also a decent amount of Japanese fantasy as well. I know Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is explicitly influenced by that. Hayao Miyazaki took a lot of cues from how Arzak's landscapes are depicted and such. Um, and indeed, the way the fantasy landscapes of Panzer Dragoon also take a lot of influence from that. In point of fact, Mobius was tapped for a lot of key art for Panzer Dragoon. We didn't really see it in the West, but the Japanese cover art of the game, which may or may not be on the thumbnail for this VOD, um, was drawn by Mobius, and I believe he provided some of the key art or the concept art that the team used internally as well. Um, I feel it's relevant to start with that because Panzer Dragoon is a game that both Gooms and I have played, albeit
Mhm.
through the recent remake. Um,
Yeah, and I that's sort of unfortunate. I know a lot of people are not very fond of the remake, and um, it may have colored our impressions because spoilers, we weren't super big fans of that game, but I do know a lot of it is like the visual um, representation of anything, and I do think the game is better when it has its original vision and the uh, like I've seen footage of it, it looks much better, but um, I wanted to see if that's enough for me to um, forgive the other misgivings I had about the game because it wasn't just that that kind of was like eh to me. But
I will say my experience of it was I got it when it was a couple months old, which means it was lockdown. I was desperate for stimulus, and I was like, "Well, I've been meaning to play Panzer Dragoon for years. I've heard that this is a very good game. Nice of Sega to release a finally port this thing that hasn't been around in ages. I'll I'll play it and we'll see what I think." And I cleared it in a half, not a half hour, but in an afternoon. And afterwards, I was like, "Well, I guess back to puttering around the apartment." Uh, So it didn't leave a very good impression on me. But uh, again, I encountered it in such a specific way. I've really been interested in encountering the game within a relative context for when it would have come out, which
uh
we're able to do through this series playthrough, um, or console playthrough, I guess.
and I want to just see like how much of it is just there weren't a lot of rail shooters at the time because there was Star Fox, but I kind of want to compare it to see like if it has things that are significantly of note above Star Fox. Um, and then there were other rail shooters, of course, um, like
I have a
Space
list.
Harrier and whatnot.
Space Harrier was a specific influence. What else? Starblade and Rayforce, I also saw, were cited as influences.
Uh huh.
Um, and Star Fox, of course.
Hmm.
I've heard it as well that a big thing to the original Panzer Dragoon and why it was such an unexpected breakout success for the Saturn was that it represented the first fully original 3D adventure for the platform. Uh, think about it from the perspective of what we've played so far. Ignoring Knights, since we jumped ahead in the timeline for that, you had Virtua Fighter, which was very impressive to be on a home console, but existed in the arcade. You had Clockwork Knight, which is a 2D adventure. Um,
I have to admit that kind of speaks to having played it. That kind of speaks to how people are very quick to fill in something as good if it fulfills a niche that uh, f- isn't isn't anywhere else on the console. Like it's sort of the Quest 64 dilemma where people call that one of the best N64 RPGs, which I guess is technically sort of true,
By
but
definition, yes.
but um, because calling it one of the first 3D adventures, that's kind of
Damning by faint
stretching
praise.
your not even that. It's that um you're claiming something that it's not trying to be. Like that invokes things like this is the Mario 64 competitor or whatnot, which it really
Oh,
isn't.
interesting. See, I wouldn't think that, especially since this was 2 years before Mario 64. But
Right,
that
but
that's interesting to think about.
not specifically Mario 64, but like if you're pushing it as this grand quest that has like exploration and 3D movement, it's like kind of, but also it's like an hour long game and it's not really a quest, it's a arcade game.
A bit.
It's like it's not that fundamentally different from your space harriers and whatnot.
A
It's like a slightly different camera angle and it uses polygonal graphics, but otherwise I I think they're overselling it a bit.
Perhaps. But uh, but still, I think it's worthwhile for us to be going into this with that perspective. Like I said,
Yeah.
the purpose of all of this is to say that for folks who really appreciate Panzer Dragoon, this is me admitting that we're coming into this with a certain perspective. We're trying to
Uh,
re-examine this under a slightly different perspective. We'll do our best, but we do have this baggage, and it is work. We are working against that to get into
yeah.
it.
This is a game I really want to like.
Mhm.
Like I I greatly appreciate the Star Fox series and um, even earlier rail shooters. I have a lot of respect for. It's just this one in particular gets uh, a lot of appreciation and remembrance, and I, I'm kind of curious as to why specifically. But
Sure. All right. Let's go ahead and get this squared up then. I just have to do a little switcheroo over here. Yep. Yep. There we go. All right. Let us begin. Thousands of years have passed since a once thriving human civilization perished in the dust. Time goes by, double ellipses, passing their existence in fear of the ever present shadow of cybergenetic warfare. The few remaining human beings struggle to regain the power that they have lost. With a desolate future, the people look to their past for a glint of hope. Excavations at an ancient tower have provided the people with a deadly arsenal, now turned upon their foes. This power has created strife amongst surrounding nations, all struggling against each other and the evil forces of the Dark Dragon. The fate of the world rests on the wings of an armored blue dragon.
there's such a difference in quality between how well Sega writes and how well Sega uh, voice acting is. Like, that was legitimately written really well.
Oh, I see. Outside of beyond the scope of this game, yes.
Yeah. I guess I should say Sega of America because in this game it's still in the Japanese, right?
Um, this is actually a conlang that this game
Ah, gotcha.
uses.
Gotcha.
I believe it's a mix of Latin, ancient Greek, and Russian, I think.
Huh. That camera perspective is like, wait, are you controlling this?
Nope,
For a
nope.
second there.
Lynch.
This isn't pre-rendered, is it?
It is.
Huh. It almost looks like just general in-game rendering.
It's definitely not in engine, but it wouldn't surprise me if the models aren't super different from what they would use in engine.
Uh-huh. I guess that's one way to trick people is to have such low quality on your models that people assume it's actually animated in engine when it's not.
I mean, it was 1994 as well. You took what you could get.
Yeah, I'm not blaming them on that. I'm just wondering, are they maybe forward thinking about this?
Maybe. Dead.
Serious dig dug shit right there. What did I miss? Had to take care of something? No, we're just got started, basically.
Yeah, this is just the intro cutscene. Oh. I mean, you don't really walk that off.
Can't have a Saturn game without some weird vibes at some point.
Yeah, we kind of did
I
just leave those guys behind, huh?
I don't really remember this cutscene at all, but I
It
don't
was
know if
it
they. Go ahead.
it was there,
It
and
was
quite
okay.
as long-winded.
Huh.
Yeah, now this is in engine.
Well, yeah.
Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Panzer
Hello.
Dragoon. uh, the music as well was always a big part of what caught people's attention with this series, and you have to admit, especially for this era, having this quality of music was nothing really sounded like this.
Does make me curious how much is Panzer Dragoon Saga actually worth playing, because it's like it kind of always wanted to be an RPG all along.
Oh, maybe. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. Does it? I can futz with controls. To be honest, I'm going to be figuring this out as I go because I don't know how stuff is mapped here. You do get a sound test right away, though. That's nice. We'll go ahead and just leave stuff as it is. All right. Oh, right. We just saw this. Let's not do that again. Episode 1.
So, what's the plot again?
There's we need to stop the Dark Dragon guy. We have to fly through this world to get there to stop him from destroying the world.
Gotcha. But that, like there was a guy that was in a cave and he died.
Yeah,
What
he
was
was
that
the good dragon rider, but he was killed by the bad dragon rider.
Okay.
We're taking over for him.
Gotcha.
And
where
we're
do we
just
come from?
we're a wanderer. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I love it when my main characters have no identifiable traits, and it really gets me invested in their storyline. And before someone says, "Oh, well, a lot of video games have blank slate protagonists," yes, but they also don't front load it with so much story.
There we go. Side, 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 side. Oh, hello. Have to be mindful. Yep. There we go.
Oh, you have kind of like a charge homing shot, and you have your regular shots. I did always think the aiming reticule's kind of cool. How you can, it being cone
Can I
shaped,
hit these?
gives you
Oh, no, I don't hit those.
extra good precision in a way a single crosshair wouldn't get you.
It's also just, like, super visually interesting.
Yeah. The only issue with a reticule like this is that if they fly into the reticule, then it sort of makes it weird.
Mhm. Hello? Oh. Oh.
So does this take place on an alternate planet or like a total fantasy world or
I think it is supposed to be a distant future. I don't know if it's our distant future or just the distant future of a now barren world.
huh? So I guess we should read this as like post-apocalyptic fiction.
Yes.
In which case, who controls these boats?
The bad guys.
I thought the bad guy was a dark dragon.
Well, oh, I died. Luckily, I've got, well, 2 continues. So this is what we're up against. Playing through normal, we've got 3 tries. You have to start each episode from the top if you hit a game over.
Oh, but you can start the level over again if you... It's not like... It saves at the end of each level.
Correct. But
So.
if we run out of continues, I believe that's it. I don't know that there's a way to get more continues.
Gotcha.
So our goal for tonight is to complete a playthrough of this under normal difficulty. Depending on how long it takes for us to do so, we'll try to do so again under hard difficulty. Knowing me, I wouldn't expect us to get that, but we'll make a game effort of it. Hard difficulty, you get no continues. Also, enemies hit harder.
There is a special ending for hard difficulty, so I kind of would like to do that.
I make no promises, but we will try for it. That is,
well, I'm just saying that it might be worth doing another stream, even if we don't get to it tonight.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not opposed to that, but we'll see how things go tonight to start.
Gotcha.
I will say I do really like this era of early 3D. Call it fondness for Quake or Quake clones or what have you, but something about the very different way that 3D was visualized in this time.
It's well, Quake is similar in some ways. I think like the texture of how the someone more technical could describe it, but games around this era, especially on the PlayStation and on the Saturn, they kind of like you can see it in the water right now, where it's the texture gets moved around and it's kind of fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain that, but a lot of games have that sort of look to them from this era. Like it's doesn't quite mesh into the other polygons perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's moving entirely independently of them.
Yes.
Which it of course looks dated by today's standards, but it does give these games a sort of different vibe to them.
I'm getting the impression that a big part of this game, and again, I did play the remake, but it's been a bit. A big part of it is knowing when to shift camera angles.
Yeah.
You're locked to moving within a 2D plane, so a big part is knowing when you want to have certain power over stuff.
Yeah, I guess you could say that the free camera movement counts as an innovation, though. At times it feels like it's in your way more than anything, because you don't always know where to shoot, and it feels cheap if something's shooting at you from behind. But I can appreciate that is sort of a different vibe, and that it's free roaming but not.
Oh, I think that was a body I had just knocked overboard. Nope, I see you. Nope, out of here. There we go. Okay, so you don't want to just be doing homing attacks on everything. Homing attacks won't let you counter projectiles. There we go.
And they are worse when there's a lot of small single-hit enemies on screen.
Indeed. Episode 1 completed. Oh! Okay, we do get credits. Okay, cool. So we will be able to earn back continues as we progress.
Oh, they're not using enough words for a real conlang.
Have to go? Oh, no worries. Thank you for tuning in for a little bit, Liam. Episode 2.
Yeah, I remember these cutscenes now. That one in particular stood out to me for, like, what even is happening here? I don't know why I remember that cutscene in particular, but it was memorable in its unmemorableness.
Yep, wrong way. Yep. Hello. What's hitting me? Oh. I didn't recover a lot of health. Either that or I've taken quite a bit of damage. Oh, don't do it. Oh, he's gonna do it.
I think it's like the textures don't move as you get closer to them. I think that's technically what I was talking about with this sort of vibe, like with the water that from the previous level. Since they don't actual. You're not actually approaching the textures. They just see they're the same no matter how you're moving. It's like it's um, almost has a dreamlike quality in that you're uh, it's since it's running independently of your own movement.
Yes, I think that's a fair take. Um, oh man, that definitely feels like something that was absent in the remake. There's a surreality that wasn't quite there before, or
Hmm.
I guess isn't quite there in later interpretations of this. Okay, but those transitions are super smooth. Ah, he's bleeding at me.
Maybe I'm being a little too expecting of a game like this. Like maybe I should compare it to other shmups rather than to like 3D games in general, or even to Star Fox, which has a lot more other elements besides being a shmup. Because moving the camera is kind of a unique idea for a shmup. And it is just cool to go through the different areas. Though I guess the issue with that is that um, shmups usually get their longevity from being
Oh
extremely
man.
difficult. And that game, the game is, even though you just died, I would not describe it as extremely difficult.
I'm definitely learning the game or relearning the game a bit here.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, we'll see as we get deeper in, but it's not difficult in the way that like Dodonpachi or Gradius or what have you is difficult. Oh right.
And even then, I think it's like it, it's not embarrassing to find it challenging or anything, but it's still not anywhere close to the level of most, I think. Because shmups in general are just a really hard genre.
Yes. Oop, hello. Nope. Nope. Out of here. Okay.
Maybe that's the issue with free camera control is that um, by making the game harder, um, in, when you do have that control, you also risk it feeling very cheap because there's going to be more enemies that hit you from behind.
Well, I suppose it's a different paradigm. Now, part of it is the game is trying to compensate for it with that little radar in the top right, always showing me where enemies are appearing. But um, it's a different type of visual cues and visual learning compared to what we're accustomed to, or what you would be accustomed to playing like a vertical shooter or something.
Right.
Duck and weave. Duck and weave. Okay, but it is really satisfying to highlight a bunch of the segments on these guys.
It is, yeah.
Admittedly, I don't fully understand what I'm shooting with the acid attacks, but
I always liked multi-target because that means that it sort of becomes a game of seeing how many things you can lock on before you have to shoot again, instead of just, okay, find the thing and then lock on and then do it again.
it. Oh, here we go. Something's about to happen. Where? Up. Hello.
Shouldn't be as harsh on it either, because rail shooters are just a genre that I wish there were more of in general. And not counting like dumb light gun games from B-list franchises.
Nice try. There we go.
Like the last high-profile rail shooters you had were like Star Fox Zero and Kid Icarus Uprising. And,
I guess that Star. I always forget the name of it. It's not Starlink. Aw, I'm not a cool enough guy for another credit. We're screwed.
yeah, Starlink. That was the one where the Star Fox characters cameoed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know next to nothing about that game. I wasn't even positive it was a rail shooter. You could have convinced me that it was like a more realistic space simulator, and I would have believed you.
To be honest, I have no idea. Dong. I definitely don't remember this biome from the remake. Supposed to be destroying this mining facility? Oh.
If they are just attempting to destroy the mining facility, that's a interesting twist on archetypes. Usually the mining facility are the ones that are evil and disrupting the beauty of the planet with their fueling of the evil empire using all of these minerals they're mining from the Earth's core.
Oh no, that's what I mean. I think we are destroying the mining facility.
Oh, okay. So it is archetypical then.
Yeah. Sorry to raid on your parade here. Hey, wait. No, give me that one.
It would be interesting just once for them to be all like, they did a horrible thing. They destroyed the mining facility. And like somber music plays over it.
Maybe it's like, I don't know, really beneficial fracking or something. Ah, no, darn. Wait, maybe I can get him yet. Eh!
Is there like a good kind of fracking when it's not for oil exploitation?
I don't know, maybe they're giving a frack.
I legitimately don't know if there's like some kind of way to improve the terraforming of the planet or something to make it work better. I know almost nothing about geology.
Likewise, I'm more of a biology guy. But maybe it's like when doing a controlled burn of a designated forest fire.
Uh-huh.
Hello. That's our boss. Yep. Oh, I see.
Yeah, I remember this attack. This was kind of fun. This and well telegraphed, but continuing to. Um, I think the best attacks in shmup games are the ones that are telegraphed and sort of become a little dance with the opponent and um, understanding what they're doing and what's the best place to avoid their attack in.
Mm-hmm. Always a fan of games that make you work levels, yeah. Whoa, hello.
Like, I'm thinking of a lot of examples in Gradius 3, like, you have to get between the lasers as they ricochet off of two other lasers, creating like this little diamond that's perfectly foreshadowed as the safe zone. Stuff like that.
Sure.
Or there's another one that's like, it's crawling on a ceiling and a floor. It has these 4 arms, and it uses them to crawl 2 on each side of the screen. And you have to shimmy underneath its legs while it lifts one up, and then use that to get to the other side. Creates an interesting dynamic in that being the only way to beat the boss. So I'm always on the lookout for little cute little safe spots in shmups.
That'll do.
I don't know if I'm making any sense, but
Nah, I getcha, I getcha. Am I a cool enough guy for a credit? Oh, I'm a cool enough guy for those credits. Good. A little bit of extra insurance. If I remember correctly, there are 6 episodes, so...
yes. If I recall correctly, this was like the most innovative level, but I'm not sure if I liked it or not. It's like it did that weird thing with the boss. I don't know exactly how to describe it.
Well, we'll get a chance to figure it out in a couple minutes here. You know what it is? I think the last episode in the remake is more of a jungle area.
Maybe it's more like exploiting the jungle environment as opposed to like uh, fueling the war machine in Mordor kind of mine.
Yeah.
The wings are animated really well. I like how they keep trying to make an attempt that the wings make sense no matter what you're going through on screen.
Oh, yeah.
That must have been really hard to animate.
Considering as well how much of this game, how quickly this game would have come together. Remember that the version of the Saturn that we got was developed in about a year's time. So any launch titles or launch window titles would have had about that much time to get its act together. Also worth note, this was the director, I think Yokio Futatashi, something like that. This was his first video game.
Oh, wow.
Like, I think he'd been working at SEGA for a couple years, but this wasn't just his directorial debut. This was the first game that he was at all working on.
At least he seemed well aware of what goes into video games.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, I think it was just this boss was very much about using the different camera angles, I think. And you had to keep switching back and forth between them because he would move around you. And it sort of becomes like a like in Undertale when you have to move in the different directions from Undyne's attacks.
Ow.
Kind of along those lines.
Wait, no, crap. Ah, damn. Out of the way of the arm. Don't got a lot of health. Gotta make it last. Hello. I'm gonna have to continue, I'm sure. Well, we'll do our best. damn. Whoa, flashy. Okay. It's okay. Let's try again.
Which one of you is the tapeworm, and which one of you are the antibodies trying to kill it in that scenario?
So I know what you mean, but I think you need to explain that for the viewers at home, and totally not me.
Well, I mean, look at the tunnel we're going through. Isn't it evocative of where a tapeworm would be?
I mean, I guess there's something arterial about all this. Hell. Come on. Yep. I suppose we're penetrating into an enemy fortress, so we would be the tapeworm. Goo Goo Kajoob.
There you go. See, a simple question.
Yeah, okay. Ah, damn. The bone pits keep getting me. Maybe I just
Bone
need
dragon?
to be moving around like an asshole here.
The Bone Dragoon pits?
Ah, damn. Yeah, we're in a pretty rancid place for the boss again. Oh, well, at least I've got another continue. Hello. Let me out! I don't think I actually need to shoot those guys. Yep.
Seems like it'd be really difficult to make all of those individual plates for the Dragoon tail. And then even then, there would have huge gaps in it, and it would slip off of the tail really easily.
You'd sort of think it would only be so effective as armor, yeah.
They need like a more flexible solution like scale armor or nail armor.
Ah, I'm a jerk. Okay. Spamming the button is definitely more effective here.
In a way, I think this is my favorite part of the game, just because it's the most memorable, besides the first level being really pretty. But actually going through it does make me question my life decisions sometimes.
Hey, something! Come on. Oh, I don't like that. Ah, crap. Ah! Yep,
You got
settle down.
kicked on.
Run into a bit of a deficit with continues here.
You got your kicks on Route 66.
Yep, what? Bad idea. I do really like how this maze is laid out, though. No, don't look back.
Can you really call it a maze if it's all on rails?
Eh.
Maybe it's a maze on the title character's um, perspective.
Come on. Okay, well, I did retain health, but I suspect I'm not gonna do so hot for continue.
Beat the boss, and then maybe you'll get another one.
Well, we'll see, yeah. Hi. You can die now. Ah, damn. Nope. Come on, you two. Okay. Yep.
I do think these kind of move through the um, hole in the wall style obstacles are always fun in rail shooters.
Yeah. Alright. Give me the boss. Blah. I'm a boss. Oh, that's interesting. If I target him like that, I trick him into shielding himself, which gives me ample opportunity to target his arms. All right, time for this jerk to get his sick kicks.
Oh, I guess you got a squirt showdown this.
All right, little more. Come on. Let me finish you. Got it! Oh. Oh no, this is the forest area. Oh. Well. Okay. Credit?
Maybe stage three's just forgettable. You get 1 credit.
Not nothing. Episode 5. The 5th. Yeah, this is the jungle board.
Yeah.
Hello.
I will say that even attempting a facsimile of treetops was ambitious for the time.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess they at least have some trees popping out once in a while so it doesn't just look like a flat texture, but
Oh, I'd rather you didn't. Oh well, jerks. Hey! Yep. Yeah, okay. Last credit? Maybe they have maybe 0 credit still lets you try again? I don't know why it would, but...
is there a little animation of the credit going down each time you say continue?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, yeah. Hello. Oh, hey, nice. Wait. Wanna... Oh, no. I downed that way earlier than they were expecting. Hehehe.
I'm actually thinking though, was Panzer Dragoon the first game where you could independently control the camera?
Surely not. And I'm not sure what else would be in the conversation, but... Oh, hello.
Actually, I think iRobot by Atari that had a little bit of camera control. So, never mind.
Well, I'm not doing well on health. Ah, hello.
It's something. Watch out for something.
Ah, hello. Alright, well, let's see. Nope, that's game over.
Got ranked sharpshooter though.
It's not nothing. Alright, well. Let's try again. Hello? SEGA?
Man, screw like Discun or any other lame mascots like that. What happened to Sentient Sega logo?
Sentient Sega dude for the next, I guess, Sonic Cross Worlds.
You're not dreaming big enough. Put him in Smash.
technically we haven't seen this cutscene before, so I'll let this play out. I think this is just a recut of the intro, but
with different music.
yeah. Panzer Dragoon, but even more bit crushed than usual.
There are certain shmups which allowed you to move continually forward and or in any direction, and then also fire. Like sort of like twin stick shooters, but they allowed you to either fire horizontally or vertically.
Mm.
So in a way, this kind of idea has existed. It's just in this case, since it's 3D, you need to actually rotate the camera over there first, and then you can fire in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so a big part of shmups, from what I'm learning, is that each level has a specific identity.
Yes, for sure.
So, we've now seen the first 4 levels here. Well, the first 5 levels, let's be fair. We've seen the first 5 levels here. Let's run through each of these as we hit them. What is the identity of this one? Both...
This one...
Yeah, go ahead.
This one just... I just think it has good vibes. It's just meant to feel, like, wondrous and, like, not too difficult, but well-telegraphed obstacles that are kind of impressive to see fall, so that you can get a feel of, like, being immersed in this sort of world.
Oh. That's what I get for trying to show off.
Lots of showcase of little effects, like how the enemies splash when they fall down, or when the pillars splash. Yeah.
Honestly, then, the pillars are super impressive. That's still really neat.
And how those enemies fly, and how later on in this level there's a little tunnel to show that they can change scenes. This level, more than any other, just feels like it's a aesthetic showcase, which I think is perfectly valid for your first level.
Inclined to agree, yeah.
I have very little issues with this level. It's just that the next 2 levels are kind of flat, in my opinion.
Well, we'll reassess as we hit those again.
Yeah.
I don't know that I disagree, but again. Maybe I should have tried to shoot those plants. Oh well. Ah, what?
Music in this almost feels Dragon Quest-y as well.
Sorry, what was that?
The music in this almost feels like Dragon Quest as well.
Yes, yes, I feel that. It is kind of neat that the boss of this level just becomes a standard encounter later on. Always a fan of when games do that.
Yeah.
And again, you can see the bodies of the enemy troopers falling out as I continue to damage the enemy ship.
I do kind of like that you don't fill up all the way your health between levels. It incentivizes you. It incentivizes you to get better at the early stage, and that acts as a reward as you have that much more health going into the next stages.
Yeah, I kind of remember having infinity continues in the remake, so I think that was a big part of. That was probably a big part of why that game kind of flitted by me, was that it became less significant to master at.
I think I was playing on the mode that kept the continues in there. But if I recall correctly, they had an option for that. But
all right, let's see how I did. Ooh, much better. All right, it seems to me that clearing 80% gives me 1 credit, and clearing 95 gets me 2. I'd bet a perfect hundo gets me a 3, but I am not expecting to hit that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the ship that we ran into in stage 5. Episode 5, maybe.
That cutscene is always so strange. It just, here's the thing. Okay, there's the thing. Let's attack the thing. All the while zooming around this mysterious island. This mysterious castle floating in the sky. And I did say these 2 levels are flat, but I'll give it up to these worms. I think the worms are really cool.
The worms are cool.
But yeah, as to what this level is trying to do, I suppose it being similarly empty kind of means that it's easier to focus on them introducing more enemies to you. Because this has significantly more enemies than the previous level has, but it doesn't have a lot of like physical obstacles, or a lot of ways to visually obscure them.
There's definitely a strange enemy behavior here, like those guys jumping out of the mud at us, or a little earlier, they're the guys that we exploded and their tails came to attack us. Maybe this level is teaching us that enemies aren't always straightforward and require require specific ways of thinking of dispatching them.
I can see that, and maybe since these enemies are a little bit, you have to actually wait before you can attack them. The fact that this level doesn't have a lot going on physically makes that very, very obvious to see what they're doing.
Oh, man.
Though I don't think aesthetically this should have been right after the first stage. I'm not against something of this aesthetic being in this game. I think it could work, but you need to have it better flow into like the the narrative pacing of your game. Like, if the first area is meant to showcase like natural wonder, this should be like towards the end of the game um as the opposite if we don't treasure that natural wonder or whatever. It could turn to this desert.
Well, actually, strictly speaking, another way to look at it is that we go into... Because we start in an aquatic ruin, and now we're in a desert area. Next level will be a strip mine. It's not until level 5 that we get to a place that has a lot of verdant life. So maybe it's more the intention is that it's we're traveling through this dying world, but gradually finding pockets of life in it.
Maybe, but the first stage feels so like jubilant and life filled with life too. But maybe that wasn't the intention.
Maybe it's a different type of life.
It's a weird case where stage 1 and stage 5 feel like there's tons of life in it, but the other ones don't.
Well, in 4, we're kind of going through an enemy fortress of some kind.
Yeah.
I think this is the Dark Dragon Rider we're fighting.
Oh, huh.
So...
Why can't we shoot? But...
Well, he is shooting. He's shooting the,
no, I mean, what I was gonna say is, why can't we shoot those giant planes like he can?
Maybe
Energy
that's
planes.
like a dark side power or something.
Yeah.
Now, this is more of a Genesis kind of song.
Yeah, I can hear that. Higher quality drum sample, but otherwise very Genesis-y.
There we go. Well, look at that. I'm doing okay.
My dragon's bigger than yours.
Okay, okay. Good, 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 good.
That seems to confirm your theory.
Mm-hmm.
Then I guess if the previous area was like showing the world kind of broken down, this is like getting into the enemy stronghold and finding out why it's broken down is because all of these evil people.
They're strip mining the canyon, I guess.
Yeah. Think of all of the life that could be blooming in this canyon.
Oop, hello. There we go. This is also the first level that really starts hiding enemies.
Yeah,
So,
I could see that. Which I guess is a continuation of the last level, hiding enemies in plain sight.
mhm.
This actually legitimately hides them, now that you know that that's a thing they can do.
Yeah. See, and there they're introducing the fact that these red dudes shoot the rocks. It's difficult to have an intellectual sounding conversation when you don't know how to describe things.
Are you going to re-enter college and write a thesis just so it can be titled "When the Red Dude Shoots the Rock"?
It'd probably be better than the stupid Goat Simulator essay that I wrote. Hey, look at that. I cleared it out and we didn't even have to do a full loop. Yeah, now we get to just chill. Okay, chill time's over.
What was the Goat Simulator essay? Was it about, like, the value of intentionally making your product bad on purpose? And
see, I give Goat Simulator a lot more credit than you do, I think. But
well, no, like, legitimately, I don't even think that that's controversial. I think that whether or not you vibe with Goat Simulator is a matter of, do you appreciate that it is being bad on purpose to an extent.
So, it's been a bit since I've thought about it. Let's see. I specifically had to do some sort of scholarly essay with respect to my major. I decided I wanted to do one on satirical or farcical game design.
So there you go. I was right.
You know what? Yes, you absolutely were. I was unfair. So my apologies.
Okay.
But like, I went through a couple different games trying to test out different things. I considered doing a DLC quest for it, and like that was fine, but that's all really surface level commentary.
Yeah, I played it. It's basically one joke through the whole thing, but it's an important joke, I guess.
It's fine, but like there's not much to analyze there beyond once you get what the refrance or what it's doing.
Yeah.
I considered doing what was it? Duty Calls, which is a Call of Duty parody that was released as a demo for Bulletstorm.
Huh.
And like it's really just kind of a dumb, stupid satire that does not really have much in the terms of legs for commentary beyond ha 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 ha. Isn't this silly, all these things that it's doing? And really trying to make the argument of, oh, this is so realistic, you guys. Yeah, this is the coolest guy ever. It's just really kind of stupid. Like, yes, that's the commentary, but it's also just stupid.
Yeah. Kind of interesting that, like, video games don't have their own sort of modest proposal. Usually when games are satirical, they're either part of a larger game that's just trying to be funny in general, or it's trying to make political commentary that isn't necessarily related to games as a whole. But it feels like there isn't really a modest proposal kind of analog in video games where it's innovating in what it means to be a satirical video game.
Oh, only 2. Nice. I mean, strictly speaking, A Modest Proposal is social commentary of some degree. But I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, it is social commentary, but it's also um, by being social commentary in that way, it also redefined what commentary could be. Like it was, it's remembered less for what it was talking about and what it was satirizing, and more for um, the structure it introduced to the realm of satire.
The idea that, wait, you can just frickin' sit down and tell people to eat babies? That's a thing?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Ow.
but like, I guess there aren't many examples of a sort of innovative joke in video games. They're funny jokes, but nothing that is profound, I guess.
There's Bug's Life. Though that's not really profound.
Yeah.
It's just funny. Ah, come on. I can laser beam my eyes on you. Alright, so this is pretty bad, but I did figure out the boss's tricks, so maybe we'll be okay.
Like, I guess you have those troll games, like I Want to Be the Guy, which kind of take a critical look at what level design can be. Those can be considered satirical in a way. But they also directly impact how you play and approach the levels, so that's... It's satirical in a way that's kind of self-contained.
Oh no, you know what? We're totally forgetting Spec Ops. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
But again, that's such a recent game. Well,
Yeah.
14 years old now, but that's such a recent game within the conversation of game design and such.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point, because I think a lot of Spec Ops' negativity from people that don't vibe with it comes from people that are they're acting like it says something about they're acting like it's blaming them as the player, which to a certain extent I suppose it is, but mostly I feel it's making commentary on what it means to be this sort of video game. And I think if you look at it through that lens, it's more interesting.
I mean, it does literally call out the player, but yeah, no, I'm with you.
It does, but it always seemed a little tongue-in-cheek to me, personally. But
All right. Ha! Get ready to mash the button. Ah, man. Oh. I suppose, strictly speaking, I'm not on a time limit or anything. And
It, it it's always more important to play
yep.
safer in Panzer Dragoon, I've found, as opposed to playing faster.
Mm-hmm. For a genre where twitch reflexes are so important, it's easy to lose track of. Or it's easy to mix that up. Yep. There we go. Hey, first try, baby. Kaboom!
I've always wondered if that final piece of him has a hitbox and if you can die to it.
Hey, I ain't gonna risk it.
Me neither. I always avoid it just in case, but you never know.
So now that I'm paying attention to it, we've had direct continuity from episode 3 through episode 5. We were in the canyon area, we went directly into the stronghold, and the enemies carried over, and now we're... just off. Oh well. And now we're in the forest area.
Yeah, I don't understand what this is trying to be thematically, because if we were just going through the enemy stronghold, what is this? Like an escalation, but not an escalation.
Well, maybe it was enemy stronghold, not the enemy stronghold.
I suppose that could be. But it's harder than the previous areas. Like, this is a very naturalistic area, but then there's also much denser enemy formations than this. Not sure if the gameplay matches the aesthetics, I guess. But maybe I'm missing something about it.
Well, I know the the ultimate goal is we're preventing the dragon from getting to the tower. So
Okay.
maybe now we've cleared bother. Maybe now that we've cleared the enemy fortress, this is their attack invasion force.
So this is like, we have one last shot. Send all of our troops go towards the mysterious MacGuffin, and they just abandoned their fortress because they need that more than anything.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, I guess I could understand that maybe.
See, the game was brilliant all along. You just weren't giving it enough credit. I'm being a little facetious.
It does make you wonder how much we're like accurately guessing the story and how much we're just like writing fan fiction.
Kind of, but part of the fun of these types of loosely defined, very impressionistic games is that you're deciding the story yourself. I'm sure part of that
Sure.
really is baked into the intended experience.
Yeah, I can vibe with that.
Like I was saying, or like what we were looking at earlier with, what I was saying earlier about Mobius's work, since there is an actual story to the events and stuff, but because it's so much of the intrigue is with the world design, a lot of the fun of the work or the imagination to the work is trying to figure it out for yourself what everything means. Oh crap! Right, jerks.
Which again makes me a little bit curious about Panzer Dragoon Saga, because as an RPG it would have to be better defined, because like an RPG without names and characters and um, defined attributes of things, an RPG does not make.
I know it is a lot more defined, like there are very well-defined characters and such. I also know it makes a very weird choice in terms of a big reveal, but that's... Like, I'm not going to just spoil that here.
Right. Yeah, I know nothing about the plot in that game. So.
Also a contender for one of the best video game soundtracks ever, alongside stuff like Chrono Cross and such.
Uh-huh.
I think it's something that gets brought up in that type of conversation.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, those shots kind of semi-home in on you, so you have to dodge at the last second, sort of.
Yeah. Stuff. You. Alright, let's see how we do. Alright, this is the weird leg guy.
Yeah, I still don't know what this thing is supposed to be. Is it like a statue ship?
Ah, come on.
He just looks kind of like Michigan J. Frog doing a "Hello, my baby, hello, my honey."
Totally. Oh, right. Ah! Do not want. Dude, Pride Rock! Nope. Up, down, down. Yep. Aha! Did I get him? Well, clearly not.
That was hurtful, man. I'm gonna go over here now.
Maybe it just has to complete a full cycle or something. Oh yeah, here we go.
I hope we... Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just had to be over there to wrap. Oh, new phase.
For a second I was worried that did we get it caught in a endless loop somehow.
Why does it have a...
Is it... Now it's doing like a full...
damn!
Now it's doing like a full ballerina point with its leg.
And whizzing a bunch of missiles, I guess. Hey, no, I want to get you. Alright, here we go.
More consoles should have the turbo graphics as turbo switches, and this is a prime example of why. Imagine a rapid fire button, except you don't even have to push the button. You just
Rapid
toggle
fire
the switch.
would be nice.
But you did, but even better because you don't need to hold down the button. You just need to flick the switch once and it does it for you. And you even have two options of what speed you want. It's a very cartoony you got hit sound as well. Like you slipped on a banana peel kind of sound effect.
Kinda, yeah. What? Okay. Yep. Man, stop throwing those dumb... I didn't get the big guy. Okay. Alright, that's one. Oh, and just the one. Yep. Down. No, down. Oh, boy. Okay.
It really makes you feel like you're fighting a big hulking pile of stone by how long it takes to blow it up.
I guess. Okay. Yeah, that was a bad run. Ugh. Okay.
Lots of credits, though, at least.
Yeah. Do appreciate that. Yeah, great. Okay. I guess I got them. Alright. Alright, jerk alert, come on. Hey, okay, okay. Oop. Whew. Okay, okay. Doing better. Ow.
You don't get blisters after this.
It's not even the wrist that was hurting earlier, too. But I'm doing alright. Yep, hello. I guess those guys have collisions.
I think you even do damage by ramming into them. No, that's advised.
I can't.
You can't?
I don't think so.
I thought you were doing some damage to him.
Nah, it was just bullet spam. Okay, yeah, no, face tanking, terrible idea.
Like I
Uh,
said before, safety is the #1 priority.
don't really know where my safe zone is with those guys' attacks. Ugh.
Well, with those guys, it's about making a safe zone by prioritizing the bullets.
Okay.
And
Okay.
didn't notice it until now, but I kind of like how the charge shot goes around you before it fires forward, which means you can use it sort of as a get off me tool
Mhm.
um, towards things that are right in the area.
Okay. Ah, come on.
Prioritize shooting the bullets, not the boss.
Right.
They always take longer to kill than you think.
Got him. Ah, crap. Here we go. Okay. Ugh, give me a minute. Ugh,
Oh,
jeez
completely
Louise.
fair.
Ugh.
You have more health than last time, at least.
Definitely an upshot. Okay, so let's see. So for Ballerina Dude, I want to try and get as many hits in on um there's the two initial dudes. Um I think I can take them both out, but I have to move really quickly. Once it moves to just the
Yeah,
Ballerina Dude, I really want to prioritize positioning. I can't dodge as easily when I've got the side view. Um
right,
so I definitely need to just holy moly shoot the projectiles there.
right.
And then when he's shooting to the crotch cannon, his thighs, his inner thigh is what I want to shoot. Okay. Alright, I didn't get him, but that's okay. Okay.
Dodge.
I really can't.
Oh, you can't?
No, I'm just moving the cursor.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Well, then shoot him.
I can switch to this mode at least and do my best.
Yeah.
At least once I take out a ring, hey, that's that many fewer shots to contend with.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, now I'm good.
This game has, like, nothing in the way of invincibility frames, it feels like. So, you can really snowball into death quickly in certain situations.
Definitely feels like it, yeah. Alright. Crotch time!
Don't clip that out of context.
Don't think about it too much. Ow, hey! Can I help you? Shoot the legs. Got him.
Those missiles he shoots at you, I think you have to use a homing shot to kill him.
Missiles, I cannot use a homing shot to kill them. They won't target.
Those pinwheely missiles?
Correct.
I thought you did target it right there. Huh.
No, I was targeting his thigh.
Gotcha.
Alright, 4 credits for the final stage. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there it is. Episode 6. Oh, right. Oh, that's a lighthouse. I think he's kind of like Chaff.
Chaff?
Yeah, like how Chaff specifically distracts from auto-targeting by producing noise that's that disrupts targeting systems.
Oh. Huh, that's interesting. You're saying that he is specifically meant to interfere with the targeting system you've probably been using as a crutch the whole game.
Correct.
That is very interesting, actually. And a good choice for the final level.
Ah, man. Alright, come on.
It maybe doesn't have a huge effect just because you can lock onto multiple things, but it does at least slow you down with that.
Yep.
Oh.
He is at least also drawing me to generally where I should be firing. Just, he presents a focal target. Yep.
I guess there are very few enemies in video games that act as this chaff concept, where they draw your fire away from them, unless it's like an RPG where there's a that has a taunt sort of effect.
Yeah. Right, but that's even something a bit different within a. This is more within a real-time environment.
Yeah, because you can't usually do that sort of idea because it interferes directly with with playing the video game.
Yeah.
But here I think it works.
Yep. Oh. Dodge around the dirty laundry. Hey, I'm trying to dodge dirty laundry. I can't also dodge projectiles. Ah, hey! Out of here. Yep.
Kind of feels like the effect with Panzer Dragoon ultimately ends up being you can shift the camera, but you really want it to be behind you at all times, except when you're forced out of it.
Well, it's a bit contextual, but yeah. Generally, it's nice. Well, I think I'm just wasting my time. Oh, hello. Nope, you. Oh. Okay.
Oh. No boss, huh?
That's right, no boss, because I believe it segues into this being all boss.
Kind of surprisingly forward thinking to make the final boss not part of the stage, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That probably changed in testing.
Might yeah. Did not remember it being a flower. All right.
So what kind of power does this thing grant anyway?
Uh, oh, well, it turned him into that.
Oh. Maybe they shouldn't have had something that could turn people into that. Maybe we could have lived without that ancient knowledge.
Man strove too far when he attained the power to turn into that thing. Come on.
Like, there's making Jurassic Park, and you can argue all day that man shouldn't have brought back that which nature has killed permanently. But at least they had like an economic incentive. Making that thing, what's even the point?
Is cool. Oh, see, I need to be working levels here. Up, death laser. Maybe don't do the death laser. I would consider it a great big personal favor if it didn't do the death laser.
You got marched on.
I did.
Or if you prefer, you got giant fucking batted on.
I think I do prefer, actually. I'd really rather you didn't shoot all those guys at me. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Oh, hey. Hey! Friggin' undulate on your own time, buddy.
I'm not paying you to undulate.
Holy smokes, though, he does drain a lot of health. Goes swoosh! Yeah, wow. Okay.
You gotta do something about that.
Well, that's for damn sure. Okay. Okay.
When you think it's gonna fire, start in the corner and do a circle around the whole screen.
Yeah, okay. Shooting his little minion dudes also seems to launch a bunch of shots at me. Case in point.
Yeah, I guess maybe you're not supposed to shoot those?
Well, but then they explode into those little dick-ass projectiles.
Yeah. I guess just be extra certain that you know where they're gonna go after you shoot them.
Up, down, up, down, up. No. It's specifically when I hit them with the when I hit them with the projectile shot or the targeting shot.
Huh.
Nope. I tell a lie. Okay. That's one. That's two. Oh, is it just the two?
Yeah, you died every other time. The second one.
Ah, dick. Well, I think I dealt about the same amount of damage, but it felt like progress. Unfortunately, this is my last shot. Kind of looks like he has a mustache.
Yes. But maybe that's meant to be purposeful, like a Shenron or Gyarados sort of thing.
I'm sure. Get your... Alright, now he's working levels.
He's leveling up and leveling down.
Okay. Nope, damn! Crap, okay. It's changing colors. There's one, there's two. Alright, and the cycle repeats. Ah, well, get your tail out of the way.
Kind of an interesting attack because it's hard to tell even where it's coming from.
Indeed. Ah, that's it. Oof. And unfortunately, I'm out of tries.
Well, I guess that answers our question about are we going to play this next stream?
Yes, indeed. Okay. Alright, well. Gave it a good game effort. I definitely need to be calling it here. But we'll pick up here next time. We'll give it another go.
And if we do complete that, probably get a shot at the hard mode as well.
Yeah. Yep. No guarantee that we'll finish hard next time, or even within the scope of this series playthrough. But at the very least, we'll finish normal. We'll do. Excuse me. Give a good effort at hard.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we make it significantly far into the game with hard and see if it's worth attempting after we get to this. I don't know if it's like marginally harder or if it's like this makes this mode feel like a baby game.
Only total losers play anything that isn't hard or whatever.
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah, we'll pick up here next time then. But all right, for now, thank you for joining us. We hope y'all had fun, and we'll catch you on the next stream.
Catch you next time.